Welcome back to RBD Block Challenge. I'm Cindy Cloward, and today we are working on block number 5. It's called Dazzle and is designed by Kristy Lea. This is what it looks like in our confetti cottons, and this is what it looks like in our batiks. Both beautiful and fun. So let's get started on the block. A reminder, like always, to download the pattern on the Riley Blake Designs website. It's called Dazzle by Kristy Lea. And you'll notice it's comprised of all half square triangles. We're going to become experts on half square triangles. But the finished block really does pack a punch with color. It's so beautiful. So let's get started. This is a really easy make, and you're going to really enjoy putting this block together. I'm going to put on my glasses, and I'm going to just remind you that we are going to create our half square triangles 2 at a time method. And we have a short animation for you to watch to create those. If you need a little review, you're going to grab your B, your E, your F, your D, your G, and your I, and coordinate them with all your A squares to create all your half square triangles. Take a look at this animation. All right, here's one square I haven't cut or trimmed, but I finished all my other squares. So I'm going to leave these here, and I'm just going to take you through this one half square triangle unit because I'm going to show you how it's done, because I do want to show you how I square them up. Now you can finger press your units, or take them to your pressing station. I do press to the dark side whenever possible. So let me just give a quick press to these. Okay, and bring it over here. And it is important with all these half square triangles to make sure that they are the right size. And instead of being 3.5 inches, they are 3 inches. And so we are going to use this ruler to get those all squared up, and you're going to pull it into the corner. So I have a line of my 3-inch right like that. It's pulled into the corner like that, and I'm going to trim one side, and then I'm going to have to catch my dog ear on the other side. And let's just turn it over here and just check it again. Make sure there's no trimming to be done other than that dog ear. And it looks good. So that's all squared up. We just want to make sure that our seam is right there in the corner. That's why you line it up in the corner there and the corner there. And this is an important step to make sure all these half square triangles are trimmed up to the correct size. And I'm just going to line that up. When it's the opposite, I line those corners up, that corner seam right like that. Okay, so that is ready to go. We'll clean off this workstation. Now it's time to organize our block. It's that easy. Sew all the half square triangles, and now we're going to assemble our units. So pay attention to the pattern. We've got the C, G, H, and K as a square units, and then you look at the colors and see how they're assembled. Now this fuchsia is going to go this direction. Just pay really close attention. Now we got this nice pop of green here, and they're all going the same way. For this other unit, got the E going this direction, and we've got these 2 orange half square triangles going like this. Just pay attention to your pattern and make sure they're all going the right way. Okay, the pattern tells you to do a section at a time. It tells you to do like this unit, that unit, and that unit. But I like to do it all together. So I am going to just make my rows like one big long row, and then I'm going to just take a seam down the side and work in these columns like this. Whatever works for you in your assembly. This is what I like to do all at once, and I don't cut my threads in between when I am chain piecing. Okay, let's bring it over here. We're going to open it up like this. And that looks good. It's facing the right direction. And so I'm going to assemble this side. Again, whatever works for you and your brain when assembling your block, you are the boss of your quilt, and you can do it however you'd like. I'm just showing you a different variation from the pattern. All right, let's open it up. Okay. Now I'm going to flip this section over to this side, and I'm going to pin it. All right, so let's take it to our machine and sew down this side. All right, let's open it up. Just check your pattern again, make sure they're all going the correct direction. It's looking good. Now we just have 1, 2, 3 more seams. And you can choose which way your seams go. Sometimes it's just easier to go seams one direction, underneath they're going to go opposite. Grab my pins and nest those seams. You can pin all your rows at this time, but it does get a little bulky, so I'm going to do one row at a time. Just make sure your outsides are, if you're not pinning them, just pull them out and make sure they line up. Okay. Let's bring it over here, and then I'm going to flip this outside. Actually, I'm going to flip this over here. So those are going that direction. So we're going to flip our seams opposite. And I'm going to pin them all. Okay, give a little tug, make sure they're all lining up. Let's go sew. Okay, let's bring it over here, and we have our last seam. Everything's lining up, looking good. So flip that way, we'll flip these the other. Okay, we've got all our seams sewn. Now let's just take it to our pressing station and give it a good press. It's looking good. This is what we want to see, is all those points coming together. It looks great. Open that up. Okay, let's just flatten that up. Bring it back here and get out our square up ruler. Let's take a look. There's a lot of pieces in this, so if your 1/4 inch seam is off, this block can be off, but it is looking really good. If anything, my block is slightly pulled in, but that's not going to be a problem. When I assemble the block, I'll just give it a little tug to pull it out a bit. So the Dazzle quilt block is finished. I love this block by Kristy Lea. It came together so easily. I did show you a different version from the pattern, so choose what works best for you when assembling your block. But thanks for joining us for block number 5. Join us next time for block number 6. It's called Bloom Where You Are Planted, and it's designed by Jennifer Long.